Now another game you can make is a quiz. So we can have a quiz game in which we ask questions. And we can have more than one question. You can define your own questions. Doesn't really matter what questions, just to show the principle. And you can add as many questions as you want. Doesn't really matter which question, right? Because we're just coding a quiz. So how would you ask every question? So for every question in questions, you can ask the question, and the user should be able to answer, right? So we get keyboard input using a function input. And now we can answer every question. But it doesn't matter what we type as answer, right? So we can type the wrong information and it will still go on. So besides the questions, we need to store the answers. Now you can do that on the same line or on multiple lines. And so now we have both the answers and the questions. Make sure they are in the same order as the questions. And then we can check if the answer is correct. So if answer is equal, this checks for equality, is equal to the question, correct. Otherwise it's not correct. Now if we run the program, we can type answers. In this case, answer is not correct, as you see, and that might have to do with the length of the input. Or actually, no, we don't store the answer. We just get the keyboard input, but we don't store the answer. So make sure to store the keyboard input in the variable of the answer. So if the user answer is equal to the answer in the current answer, so we need to add an index, because in this way it doesn't know which answer it is, right? So it can be the first answer, the second answer, the third answer, and the fourth answer. So a better way to do this is to just use an index variable to go both over the question and the answer at the same time. So for e in range 0 to the length of the questions, show question. And now we can use the index, so answer of the index and question of the index. If you run it, question is not defined, so we have questions. So now if we type the answer, you'll see it's the correct answer. If we type an incorrect answer, it'll tell us incorrect. We can have type the correct answers, and eventually it will finish the game. Now one thing you can do is to keep a score. So say score is 0, and each time the user answers the correct answer, you can increase the score. And of course you want to show the final score. So you can do that like this. However, it doesn't want to output both a string variable and an int variable at the same time. So you can either convert this to a string, like this, which would work, or you can use a so-called formatted string, and then you put an F in front and type score between braces. So that works as well, and it's easier to read. So let's do that. So now we can type some answers, and it will output the score. And you see, outputs the score again. So now we made a simple quiz app. You can make your own quiz, and for example, you could randomly change the order for which you would have to change the program a bit, or you can add more questions, depending on what you want to do. But this is a basic quiz game.